I'm going to explain how I think the average person can get rich from beginning to end. You're going to want to start by developing an obsession with collecting Engelhard Silver bars. Why? Because the more money you spend on it, the more you're investing into your future. Because you're hedging against inflation. And I'm telling you, silver is the best investment in the world today. It's real money that you can hold, and you want the majority of your wealth in something you can hold and protect yourself. We're also going to be doing crypto and things like that, but we want to start with a solid foundation of getting addicted to collecting something that appreciates over time. Tier 1 Engelhard silver bars are the best thing for that. Because it's silver, because silver is going to double or triple, and because the collectability is going to quadruple it. And because it's such a new thing, you can get it for nearly the price of regular silver still. If it costs $350 or $400 on a good day, the Tier 1 Engelhard is only going to be $500. It's only going to be $100 more than that, maybe a couple hundred more. But it's worth paying a couple hundred more for these Tier 1 Engelhards that are going to quadruple or sextuple in price eventually. Pretty much just look at my collection and try to build the same thing. I mean, I've got a model collection. You can always get one of these for about $350 or so. It's the cheapest variety. They are the most common, but still collectible because all Engelhard bars are collectible. Or if you can afford it, make it a point to find a 100-ounce Tier 1 bar. When you buy in bulk like that, all in one piece, you get the most silver for your money, or you pay the least of a premium. And then if you get it collectible, like a Tier 1, dude, I got this for $3,400 when the price of silver at the time was like $3,250. Imagine it being like $20,000 in just a few years. That's because they're no longer produced and less than 250 still exist today. And this one in particular is rare because it has a space in between the nines, whereas normally there's no space. This was a limited run. You've seen the cheap stuff, you've seen the Holy Grail, now you should be going after the X8 error bars. These are like the bread and butter. These are, in my opinion, the easiest to find and easiest to appraise Tier 1 Engelhard bars. Because if it's got an X8 error, then you know it's a Tier 1 and you know it's authentic. There's no way to fake them. They are what they are. And there's not there's less than 250 that exist, but still, it's probably near the top of that band. So auctions will pop up on eBay probably 2 or 3 times a month. And they vary in how rare the bar is. But I've seen some really rare ones show up, and then I've seen some not so rare ones, and the price ranges are anywhere from $400 for one that barely has the error showing to $650 for a really, really nice one like the one I have. But it all comes down to this stamping error that says X8 or Y8. If you want to know more about which variation is the rarest, etc., go watch the video about that. It's a minute long, but I'm just going to show you the bars that I have. Here's what you call a Y8 bar, because the Y is more rare than X, and it shows a lot of the Y and a lot of the 8, but not all of it. Here's a beat up X8 bar with partial X and partial 8. This one was only $500, but the other one was $650, because the Y8 is way more rare than the X8. Here's one with a partial X8 and a partial Y8 on it, but there's not very much of the Y8, which makes it not as rare as the other Y8. And this one I paid $550 for. Last but not least, we have the world's most popular silver round, in my opinion. It's the Engelhard Prospector round, brand new, uncirculated. They're tier 5, so they're like common, but when you have the original tube like this in uncirculated condition, a full tube of 25, dude, the tube alone is worth $100. It's really rare. I paid $970 for that. At the time, that much silver was worth about $850. So that plus $100 for the tube, plus, Engelhard being collectible. It's a good deal. I think I'm way ahead of the curve. Altogether, it's just under $7,000 worth of Engelhard, but I'm thinking it could be like 50 grand in 10 years, 20 years. Besides getting collectible Engelhards, there will be times when you just want to get a really good deal on silver, and you just want to stack weight. For just stacking silver, you want to get the cheapest deal possible. And that means you're going to want to get 10 1-ounce rounds at a time, but for $290. 1-ounce rounds, 10 at a time, are the cheapest deal. Basically, the Y8 rare Engelhard is twice the cost of the standard price of silver, because you can get 10 1-ounce rounds for $290, which would actually be a very good price. It's more like $320. But when it comes to stacking silver, I would not touch anything else. Either it's Engelhard or it's a cheap silver round as cheap as I can get it, 10 at a time. Or it's a tier 1 Engelhard. I don't fuck with anything else. That does it for the first step, but it is an important step because you must have the majority of your money in real money that you hold in your hand. And you must also become a collector of something that appreciates in value over time. Therefore, this is your perfect solution.